medicine for you. And once you fulfill those, your cravings stop and like different issues stop. Like one guy with blood type O, which is первая группа, stopped drinking coffee. Coffee is not good for blood type O, and all his arthritis went away. He started drinking coffee again for 3 days, it came back. So things like that, and we have the knowledge, we have everything that we need to achieve perfect healing.
Prove to me that you are alive.
What do you think is our biggest health issue?
Yeah, so the modern diet, of course, is far from desired. So many times it's basically malnutrition. We eat a lot of stuff, but most of it is not good for our body. So we're actually nutritionally depleted. So like liver is a big one, and then heart. We all have heartaches and heart emotional problems. So then it takes toll on our heart. Like emotionally and physically speaking. And if we clear emotions, then the physical starts to heal up. So, it's like, I haven't done like scientific research about other countries, but basically, in a nutshell, the healthier we eat, the healthier we our bodies are. And I thought I knew all about healthy eating, but since switching to the blood type diet, I'm like, oh my god, things that I thought were healthy for me are not healthy for my blood. So that's another level of awareness which I did not have before, and I'm like, okay, this will allow the body to heal even quicker, more efficient, and the body is once you fulfill the needs based on blood type, like your blood wants this kind of medicines. This food is medicine for you because your ancestors ate this diet, so that's medicine for you. And once you fulfill those, your cravings stop and like different issues stop. Like one guy with blood type O, which is первая группа, stopped drinking coffee. Coffee is not good for blood type O, and all his arthritis went away.
Wow.
He started drinking coffee again for 3 days, it came back. So things like that, and we have the knowledge, we have everything that we need to achieve perfect healing.
So basically, you're saying that diet is very individual. So how does one go about finding what the proper diet is for me? Let's say.
Yeah, so if you approach me and you say my blood type is whatever, I have booklets and I have even like cookbooks that the naturopathic doctor who developed this diet 30 years ago, he has all the resources. So I have all these books in my office, and then I actually started making herbal teas for each blood type. So I have type O, type A, type B, type AB. So you can get that tea and start drinking it, and there will be all the herbs in it. They are specifically for your blood, and your blood is going to be happy. And also, microbiome. We talk about, like inside of us, it's blood type specific too. Imagine if you're eating the wrong things for your blood type, your microbiome is starving, your bacteria are starving for the right nutrients. Once you switch to your nutrients, they're like happy, and everything gets balanced and healthy inside.
Yeah, so in the past, like 5 to 10 probably years, there's been this great discussion with carnivore and herbivore diets. People eating meat versus people being vegetarian or vegan. What do you have anything to say about that? As far as meat consumption or someone being completely vegan or vegetarian.
Yes, so based on the blood type, we can change our hair color, we can change a lot of things. We can grow beard, we can shave beard, we can even do surgeries to change our looks, but we cannot change our blood type. We're born with that, and it had passed down from our far ancestors. And if we live in 21st century, we still inherit a certain blood. So basically, when you when you when you switch to the correct one, you're gonna get quick results, quick healing, and everything kind of rebalances and heals itself. I believe body can heal itself. So blood type O, that's the oldest type, and that's hunters. That's people went and got meat and ate the meat. So those people have to have meat. And in their diet, most meats are beneficial for them. Of course, some vegetables and some fruit, but they cannot tolerate much grain. They cannot tolerate dairy at all because their ancestors did not drink milk or eat yogurt. So they will actually, meat is actually their medicine. And they're going to be starving if they don't have meat. They will be always hungry and always eating like sweets, like ice cream, which they really are not supposed to have. So once you balance it and make peace with yourself, okay, I am a carnivore type O, so let's have enough meat in the diet, and of course beneficial vegetables and herbs and fruit. So then the type A came after that. That was farmers. So when people started farming and raising lots of grains and nuts and beans. So they don't require as much meat as protein. They can have chicken or turkey, which is neutral for them, and then they can have fish and beans and grains and all of that. So they're the type A, which is вторая группа. They're the easiest to go vegetarian because their needs for protein are already lowered genetically. And then we have type B, which is my type. It came from Himalayas. What did they eat in Himalayas? Milk, wheat, rice, meat, So those things are beneficial for type B. And type AB is a mixture of A and B. So from all the types, A has the least amount of meat protein needs. So those people, if they become vegetarian, they all might feel great because this is what their blood wants. But if you take type O and try to make them vegetarian, they're going to feel miserable. Like one of my clients messaged me like a month ago, and she said, I'm doing this carnivore diet and I feel bad, like I feel terrible. And I'm like, what is your blood type? She said A. I'm like, okay, don't worry, you don't need meat. Maybe just a little bit. So I told you that she was so happy. She's like, I tried all my life to make myself eat meat. I'm so happy to hear I don't really need much of it. I'm like, yes, don't worry, just eat your chicken and turkey and fish once, and you're good. She's like, okay, thank you. And then she felt way better when she switched.
Prove to me that you are alive.
So we cannot argue and make up stories about keto or this diet or that diet. Some people try it and it works great. So maybe carnivore, like maybe they're type O and they're benefit. They're gonna lose a bunch of weight because they're not eating flour and dairy. But it might not work for a vegetarian. So yes, and with this diet, I see very specific, great results. So that kind of tells me that it's working.
Yeah, my wife and I and my mom were vegan for like a long time, like 12 years plus. My mom's vegan for like 20 years. And every time I see like these vegan activists online, I start screaming at the screen. I'm like, not everyone is supposed to be vegan, bro. Like, you can't just yell at people and tell them go vegan. Like, we can't all be vegan, man. So that's a great explanation. Have you tried yourself like an all vegan diet or all vegetarian diet?
I actually was vegetarian for 2 years and maybe vegan for 1 year with me and my husband. We tried it before we had kids, so that was probably like 19 years ago. And yeah, I mean, we did well. It's not like we struggled or we had issues. We just wanted for more like curiosity and maybe I think we felt good on that. We had soy protein and stuff like that, and my husband, I don't know his type. He's probably AB. So then, um, he's not like type O who needs meat a lot. So I think he felt good. And I have talked to my friends and people, clients, and I believe if you have health issues and you want to feel better, and of course it's gonna work better if you're already type A. It's gonna work amazing for you. You're gonna feel better. But then after a while, because vegan diets are not they're low in fat, and fat is actually cholesterol, and in our brain is like 90% fat.
Yeah.
So all our nerves are insulated in fat tissue. So we need fat. And so with people who go on vegan diets for a long time, they might have problems with like bare nerves where they can't tolerate anything. They get upset about it, like everything. It's literally their myelin sheath wears out, and then they're like they can't stand the world, they can't stand the people, and so that's a very dangerous place to be. So I believe, again, like your blood determines your nutrition the best.
So basically, the best advice for someone to find a specific diet for them is to go get a blood test, right?
Yes, yes, and you can purchase a home blood test and do it at home yourself. I carry them in my office, and with me, you know how I switched back from vegetarian. I got pregnant, and I'm like, I need meat, I need eggs. So I started eating all of it, and I had son, and they say when you have a boy, your protein needs are maybe more, and that's how I just forgot about all those diets, and I haven't been doing that since then because I had to nurse the babies and then have another baby. So I was pregnant and nursing for about 6 years in a row. So you cannot diet when you do that. And it turns out my type needs some of the red meat. Like I need beef, I need lamb, I need venison. So my body was kind of telling me, go back, go back and have your nutritional needs. You're growing a new human inside. So
That thank goodness that you knew that. What would you like? Let's say I myself want to get into herbs and stuff like that. What is the one thing that you would tell someone? Like, let's say, because like people think that you can just walk into a forest, see a bunch of plants, start plugging them, like left and right, and then there, from what I understand, there's a way to identify if that's a family of plants, like where's a male, where's a female, like are if I plug out too much, will they regrow, like like is that true? How does someone go about doing that? What is the best way of like you walk into a forest,
yeah, sustainable way. If you see a plant, if you see a big grove of it, for example, you have like 50 plants, right? Little plants, and you just, they have 3 leaves, for instance. Take one leaf off of several of them, but don't clear cut all, because sometimes they grow by genets. So you plant one herb of like yarrow, тысячелистник, and then it'll send roots, and then new plants will grow from that mother plant. So it's gonna be like all one genet. So if you wipe out this whole genet, they're all gonna die and not come back. So yeah, it's like with over harvesting. White pine got devastated from the Wisconsin. We used to have huge groves that were, I'm 5'2", they were as wide as my height, huge pine trees. We don't have any anymore, they all got cut down. Like we had pigeons, passenger pigeons, they're gone. So we go in this tendency thinking, oh, there's so much of it, we're always going to have it. In Sweden, chaga disappeared. They overharvested. Then they put a ban on it for 20 years because that's how long it took to regenerate. So we have to use common sense and only take what you need. And yes, be very mindful. So it's just common sense approach.
Do you look at certain or herbs, or maybe all herbs, as teachers in a way, as guiders in a way?
Yes, of course, because when you collect an herb, you can see, like if it's tall, like very tall and straight, guess what it's good for?
Not sure.
What is in our bodies that's tall and straight?
Spine.
Good for spine. Yep.
Oh wow.
So they do tell us in that way. Anything that has hairs on it, like leaves with hairs, guess what that's good for?
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Never heard of that.
Good for lungs, and hair and
So there's a way of identifying all these little things. um wow, that's really mind-blowing. What do you think, is the biggest issue that's facing America right now as we go into like this AI internet world, and we're kind of drifting away from our natural selves? What do you think is the biggest issue that we're facing as far as health and drifting away from nature?
True to me,